Which means there's a really interesting discussion now to be had about Scotland. Scotland has made it to this tournament, bro, and that's very exciting because the Scottish are here, coached by Steve Clarke and ranked number 39 in FIFA's rankings. The story of Scotland is a fun one. It's a fun one. At one point, beating Spain 2-0, qualifying in second place for the Euros over teams like Norway, for example, and having a year-long peak, I would say, where they really did seem to be on the rise. And that was really exciting to see. But what the hell happened on September 12th, 2023, bro? Because from that day on, they have not won a single game in 7 straight matches. What happened, bro? I don't know. Because that magic, that excitement seemed to somehow drastically and immediately fade away. And that concerns me because the players they got are actually pretty solid. The Scottish midfield is definitely the strongest point. You got McGinn, McTominay, McGregor, or Billy Gilmore. On the left side of the pitch, you have Andy Robertson or Kieran Tierney, which I think is really, really solid. But I just get worried, man. I get worried that for Scotland, that they've already peaked and their best moment has already passed. And they've arrived at this tournament now with high spirits, obviously. But they might end up getting bested by 3 teams that I do see as better than them. That's my worry.
Yeah. When you look at the Scottish squad, you actually will find genuine talent. You genuinely will. Don't get me wrong about that. But their weakest links are too weak. And when you're playing against an offense like Germany, Hungary, hell, on low-key even Switzerland, you're going to leak goals, and then at that point, you're asking this Scottish offense to now score 2 goals a game, and that's where they falter. There's 2 major holes for me on the Scottish team. First, defensively. Ryan Porteous, Jack Hendry, Kieran Tierney are good players, and they've had really good moments throughout this European qualification, but in every single game, they make a mistake. Somebody on that Scottish back line completely opens up and the opponent has free reign to get inside Scotland's box every single time. The game against Spain and more recently against the Netherlands, yeah, Scotland were able to compete against these opponents, but dude, like that game against Spain could have scored 6 goals. The game against the Netherlands, even though Scotland were able to get a draw, Netherlands should have had 4 or 5. They opened up Scotland 3 or 4 times per half. And when you're really banking on a defense in the highest pressure situations of a Euro, there's just no way. There's no way magically this back line of Scotland is just going to figure it out and all of a sudden get real tight with each other. It's just not going to happen. And then going forward,
That's also the thing, man.
no, they don't have a number 9, bro. The Scotland team, Lyndon Dykes just got injured in training, and he was going to be their starting striker. Lyndon Dykes. Right?
I know. Well, I will say, I think they've been making a mistake starting him for so many matches, bro, because why does he get so many starts, at least in the past year, over a guy like Shea Adams?
Yeah.
I actually am curious to hear from Scotland fanatics because I've been looking at the lineup. Lyndon Dykes at QPR had like 6 goals this year in the championship, and they finished like in 18th place.
Yeah.
Whereas Shea Adams had 18 goals, 7 assists, I believe, for Southampton, who just got promoted into the Premier League. Why isn't he the outright starting 9?
I think it's just because when Adams has played for Scotland, he doesn't perform ultimately like he does at club level. And when I saw those games for Scotland against Spain and the Netherlands, Lyndon Dykes has a really good work rate. He runs non-stop, and every single long ball that's thrown to him, he'll put an elbow in the defender's face. And I think that's the type of fight that maybe the manager's looking for. But yeah, from a finishing perspective, Dykes definitely isn't it. He's injured, so I guess this is going to be Adams. It is time to shine now.
I want to see.
What is really good, though, about Scotland, we talked about the bad. Now let's talk about the good, because there is good here. John McGinn and Ryan Christie are coming off of their best individual seasons of their careers. I think that's massive. And when you look at the way Scotland play, they try to have a kind of like a high pressure, high active midfield to win the ball early. And then when they do get it, when McTominay or Billy Gilmore get it, they immediately go wide to either Christie or McGinn. And those guys are willing runners at club level. They really are. And they provide the perfect outlet for Scotland going forward. The problem is once it's out wide, they have nobody to go to, right? And that's where the Scottish offense ultimately fails. But I think it will be good for a goal or two throughout these 3 group stage games in the Euros. I just don't think it'll be enough to get a solid 3rd place, or hell, not even a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, this team reminds me a lot of, it gives me Australia vibes, where they have a really strong point in the midfield, championship level defenders at back, and then basically a non-existent offense. And just like Australia, where we saw Jackson Arvive basically carry the offensive load from the midfield, I think we're going to see that from Scotland with Scott McTominay,
Yes.
John McGinn, Christie, like doing all the work offensively from the midfield. And they might get some goals in this tournament because of that, but I just don't see that being a sustainable system to have in these Euros. The thing is, I don't think the Scots are asking for much here, honestly. I think they're happy to be here. And I think if they somehow find a way to get a 3rd place finish, or maybe even 2nd, they're going to lose their minds in Glasgow, bro. I think they're going to go crazy, because that's one thing I will note. The Scotland folk, they have some great atmospheres in their games. And obviously this game will be far away from home, but still their fans are very passionate. And I will give them that, because I think that passion definitely played a role in them getting really notable results these past couple of years. So I do think they'll be really happy with whatever happens, and they're ultimately very positive about the fact that they're even here at this tournament. I do think there's a limitation on what they'll be able to do this year.
True. Scotland have never gotten past the group stage. So you're right. Even a measly 3rd place finish, if it's enough, Glasgow will go crazy. The entire country of Scotland will go mad if Scotland find themselves in a round of 16 match at this Euros. It gets even worse, though, for Scotland, and it's all unfortunate because Lewis Ferguson had a really stellar season in Italy this year, and he's injured. He's not going to be able to make it at this year's Euros. That would have really helped out, I think, McTominay. Because now all the pressure is going to be on either Billy Gilmore or maybe Callum McGregor to be that kind of passing midfielder. Yeah. I don't know if they ultimately have it at this level. And then the right wing back position, completely depleted, bro. Aaron Hickey, out. Nathan Patterson had a great year for Everton, out. So they have to start their 3rd choice right wing back. I believe it's Ralston, who plays in Scotland. He's a good player, but it's a definite downgrade when you look at the other options that they have. And if Scotland's all about that width when they get the ball to go forward, that's going to be a big missing piece. So just the more you look at this Scottish squad, it's really hard for you to believe that they can get out of this group.
Put Shea Adams at right wing, Scott McTominay in that 9 position.
Low key, man.
Put him in that 9 position.
You got to get real creative,
man. Let's get creative with it, man. Let's see what Steve Clark can do. Hopefully he can hype these boys up and motivate them. But I ultimately do see a 4th place finish for Scotland, which means that for me, to round out this group, I have Hungary in 1st, Germany in 2nd, Switzerland in 3rd, Scotland 4th. Where are you at?
I'm going Germany 1st, Hungary in 2nd, Switzerland in 3rd, and Scotland in 4th. But I will say, I think if Scotland can get 3 points, it will be against Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And if they can manage that, then I could see a Switzerland-Scotland swap at the bottom.